Okay, so let's talk about meltdowns and regulation, because a lot of content I made this week was around understanding something that we don't always catch up on. Like, we can have a child, for example, like this is one of many case studies, is that this question is someone else's life that I'm sure is even on this Q&A right now, is that my daughter has like 5 to 10 meltdowns a day. I actually just watched another practitioner, broke my heart, watching holes in the wall. We've tried behavior charts, sensory tools, weighted blankets, and nothing is helping, and questioning, what are we missing? So meltdowns are not behavioral. I know that there's thoughts around this, that it's like, okay, ABA will teach them how to redirect, and we're going to do repetition. Meltdowns come often and almost always from biological markers, one of them being blood sugar imbalances and blood sugar dropping and an inflammatory spike. And it can be one or the other. Usually one happens before the other. Usually it's like an inflammatory spike and then a drop. And so no chart is going to regulate a deregulated system. I deal with, and I don't want to say ideal, I work with a lot of families who do have ADHD kids. And I know this because I watch some of these families. I actually watch this in like the restaurant sometimes, not judging, just not knowing that like their children are begging for a chocolate, like for dessert. I want dessert, please mom, please mom. And then mom goes, okay, but you have to promise you're going to behave. You're not going to have an issue after this. There's not going to be any of like, repeating like the symptoms, not going to be any hitting your brother, not going to be any deregulation. And they use, obviously words that make sense. But then like, 15 minutes after they have this cake, they hit their brother, or they have a complete, like they're like bouncing and jittery. So let's be realistic, is that this is not the child's fault in that instance. It's partially ours. And there are ways to manage that a little bit differently. And it's sometimes just that we really don't understand the biology of what's happening within the body in blood sugar spikes. And when we stabilize the blood sugar, though, the opposite happens. We see the nervous system calm down. We see better behavior, and we see better interaction and connection with individuals. I have so many families that say that once their child has either red food diet or sugar, even on separate from each other, it's like their eyes are just like literally like they're like bzzz. And so this is what we tackle in one of the phases of our program, and I literally even offer this for children or for parents to give this to teachers. I have a video recorded that I say you can actually hand this link. It's a YouTube video, and this will help the teachers understand why their children can't focus in class, why they're getting pulled out to go to the office, why they're having a meltdown when rewards are still candy in classrooms, etc. And so, or why the lunch is like full of starchy, or not just starchy, but simple carb-rich foods that are highly ultra processed. So this is what we tackle in Getting Smart Instead of Sassy. Once blood sugar stabilizes, we see therapy finally click. And it brings me back to thinking about one of our members who just recently, and her son is like a very clear case study of this, is that they joined because her son was nonverbal and that he was having a lot of meltdowns. He was a little guy, very young, like in between 3 and 4, going into school, not able to ride the bus. Many of you are dealing with this kind of, this environment. This is your life every day. And within about, I would say 6 months to a year, what we saw differently when we started to looking at, in this case, was looking at blood sugar and the macros, and looking at, number one, overcoming picky eating, but secondly, being intentional with the food that we're introducing. We now see a child who can literally sit on the bus to go to school, see other children have meltdowns, and is completely regulated and able to come home, and is now super verbal. So every child is going to have a need.